Okay, so we are back. So we will continue with the oral temperature procedure. Okay, so we are here in the procedure for the oral method. So carefully, as we talk about, number one is to carefully place the tip of the thermometer under the child or adult's tongue. So dun sa ilalim ng dila dapat natin ilagay. So ngayon, ito nag-uumpisa tayo in the procedures. So the same way na gagawin natin ito sa practical. So ang gusto kong mangyari sa inyo, just imagine niyo kung ano yung pinag-uusapan natin, kung ano yung binabasa natin o yung pinag-aaralan natin ngayon, parang i-follow nyo sa imagination nyo. Pag sinabi natin na carefully place the tip of the thermometer under the child or adult's tongue, parang tayo yon, parang ganon, doon ko ilalagay sa ilalim ng dila ko, okay? So with the mouth closed, leave the thermometer in place for about a minute until you hear the beep. Usually itong ating mga equipments, itong ating mga medical device, may nagbi-beep siya in after na complete yung 1 minute. So pag nakarinig na tayo ng beep, then remove the thermometer and read the temperature. Record the temperature result. So yun lang, ganun lang kadali. But we need to follow the process, the steps. So tympanic, how to take the temperature in a tympanic method in the ear. So the ear method is recommended for children older than 2 years old. Though quick to use, the ear method can produce temperature readings that are incorrect even when the manufacturer's directions are followed. Kung minsan yung tympanic, hindi ganun ka-accurate. So anyway, even na nag-follow tayo dun sa manufacturer's direction niya, ganun pa rin yung lalabas na result. So use a clean probe tip each time and follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. So lahat ito, may mga probe tip tayo sa dulo. So kahit na pupunasan natin to disinfect natin, meron tayong ilalagay na mga caps. So disposable caps yun. Gently tug on the ear, pulling it back. Itinataas ng konti yung ating tenga para pumasok yon. This will help strengthen the ear canal and make a clear path inside the ear to the eardrum. Gently insert the thermometer until the ear canal is fully sealed off. Hindi mo naman siya masasaksak ng gusto kasi may limit. Kung hanggang doon lang siya pumasok, doon na mag-start yung kanyang reading. So squeeze and hold down the button for 1 second. Then remove the thermometer and read the temperature. So ganun lang yung step niya. But yun dun sa actual, magiging madali para sa atin kasi it is already in the actual. Auxiliary method under the armpit. The armpit method is usually used to check for fever in newborns and young children. Kasi yung mga bata o yung mga maliliit na baby o yung mga younger na bata, so sila, hindi man sila ma-instructan na ipitin mo yan sa kilikili. Kung minsan yan, tinataas din yan. So may possibility mahuhulog din. Kaya careful tayo sa mga bata, hawakan natin sila. So place the tip of the thermometer in the center of the armpit. Tuck your child's arm snugly, closely against their body. Kasi nga, ang sabi ko sa iyo, that time, tinatanggal nila, tinataas nila para sila nakikipaglaro sa iyo. So leave the thermometer in place for about a minute until you hear the beep. Remove the thermometer and read the temperature. So by rectal method, in the rectum, the rectal method can be used to check for fevers in newborns and young children. So use a rectal thermometer only if you are comfortable doing so and a healthcare provider has shown you how to do it safely. So kung ikaw yung gagawa nito, very carefully na ikaw yung maglalagay. Cover the silver tip with petroleum jelly such as Vaseline or yung mga lubricants available in the healthcare facility. So, kailangan yung tip nun, lalagyan mo ng petroleum jelly or lubricant kasi much easy na pumasok. So place your baby on their back with their knees bent. Gently insert the thermometer in the rectum about 2.5 centimeter to 1 inch, holding it in place with your finger. Huwag mong iiwanan kasi susunod sa iyo yun pag ipinasok mo doon. Susunod na lalabas. So leave the thermometer in place for about a minute until you hear the beep. So remove the thermometer and read the temperature. All of this kailangan i-record ninyo kaagad. Kasi baka mamaya makalimutan na nyo yung reading. So the last one is by skin on the forehead over the temporal artery. Using a temporal artery thermometer, turn the thermometer on, place the protective cap on the thermometer. Yung bago ngayon na ginagamit namin or halos ginagamit ng lahat, hindi na naglalagay ng cap for the temporal. So sensor na lang, hindi na masyadong dinidikit, malayo na. So sweep, ito yung old na process, okay? But this is standard, hindi pa nila pinapalitan. So sweep the thermometer gently across the forehead so the infrared scanner can measure the temperature of the temporal artery. Record the temperature and time. So going to the pulse rate. So a measurement of the heart rate or the number of heartbeats per minute. Ito yung pagka-measure natin yung pulse rate, automatically it is the measure of the heart. So yung heartbeat and the pulse rate almost the same, isa lang. So as the heart pushes blood through the arteries expand and contract with the blood with the flow of the blood. So the resting pulse rate for an average adult is between 60 and 80 beats per minute. So yung iba nating mga references, binigyan nila para sila ay safe side, ginawa nilang from 60 to 100. Okay, so taking a pulse not only measures the heart rate, but also can indicate the following. Pagka nag-take tayo ng pulse rate, meron siyang yung heart rhythm, yung kumbaga kumakanta ka, may rhythm yung heart. So the same ito dun sa pulse rate. Strength of the pulse. Pagka kumuha ka ng pulse and the heart rate, na meron siyang either na heart rhythm or strength of the pulse. Alam niyo yung kumakabog-kabog itong pulso? So that's it, yung strength of the pulse. So the pulse is a bulge of an artery from waves of blood that course through the blood vessels each time the heart beats. So coincide, nagsisynchronize silang dalawa, magkasabay. So the pulse is often taken at the wrist to estimate the heart rate. Okay? So tandaan natin, the pulse rate is almost the same as the heartbeat or the heart rate. The normal pulse for healthy adults ranges from 60 to 100 beats per minute. So sabi ko kanina, there are some references, it is from 60 to 80. But most of them, 60 to 100. So ginawa nila yon na between 60 to 100 para hindi ka na malito. Merong 60, merong 70, 80, 90. So doon sa ranges na yun, between those, ginawa nila from 60 to 100 beats per minute. So the pulse rate may fluctuate and increase with exercise, with illness, with injury, and emotions. Ang pulse rate natin, pagka ikaw nalulungkot, malungkot din siya. Mabagal siya. What I mean is mabagal. So pagka naman siya ay ma-hyper ka, excited ka, masayang-masaya, tumataas siya. So kaya nga it varies yung dun sa exercise, pero yung mga tao like for the runners, sila, they have a lot of cardiovascular conditioning. So yung heart rate nila, nandun lang sa 40 beats per minute and wala naman silang problema. Kasi normal sa kanila yun. And you know what? Yung mga tao, yung mga athletes, yung mga athletic sports-minded, sila yung mabababa yung mga heartbeat, mababa yung kanilang pulse rate, mababa yung kanilang blood pressure. Because dun sa cardiovascular exercises na ginagawa nila. Kaya huwag kayong matakot. Pag nagpunta sa inyo sa medical facility, yung mga athletes, mabababa sila. So wag kang matakot, oh, ano na ito, yung it needs an emergency treatment or something. No. Kaya tatanungin nyo kung minsan sila ay, ano ba sila? Anong profession nila? Baka naman sila lang ay nakaupo maghapon. Siyempre, mataas man yun kasi hindi naman sila gumagalaw. So yung the more na gumalaw, bababa naman siya. So it variates. Meron siyang variation. Pag ikaw may sakit, matamlay din yung pulse rate mo, yung heartbeat mo. Ganun lang yon. So it depends doon sa iyong activity, doon sa emotions mo. The heart rate is the number of times the heart beats in the space of a minute. So yung heart rate mo and the pulse rate mo, yung heartbeat is yung a beat in the space of a minute, yung one minute mo. So the same thing with the pulse rate, in 1 minute din yung ating measurement. So the pulse rate is exactly equal to the heartbeat, as the contractions of the heartbeat causes the increase in blood pressure in the arteries that lead to a noticeable pulse. So talagang sila nagsisynchronize. Ma-feel mo yung heartbeat niya and yung pulse rate niya, it's the same. So our conclusion then is taking the pulse is therefore a direct measure of heart rate. Okay? So pareho siya. Pag pinakuha ka ng doktor ng pulse rate, automatically ganun yung heart rate niya. Okay? So dalawa sila synchronized together. So now we are going to the pulse points location. Ang tinatawag nating pulse points location, where are these pulses located? So napakarami dito sa parts ng body natin na pwede nating pagtaken ng pulse. Okay, so we have 9 points or 9 locations where we can measure our pulse rates. Yung carotid artery, pakikita ko sa inyo kung nasaan ito nakalagay in a photo, in a drawing mamaya. So I'm just talking about to you now the 9 points where you can measure your pulse rates. So number 1, we have the carotid artery that is located at the neck. Dito natin yan, o pipil natin, alam natin kung nasan yung carotid natin, yung gumagalaw-galaw dyan, o yun ang tinatawag na carotid artery. So ang brachial artery natin, inside the elbow, dito sa ating sa siko. Ano yung tawag dito? Opposite the siko. Yan, sa ibabaw. So radial artery is at the wrist. Dito yan sa pulso. Usually or commonly, ito ang alam ng tao. Pag sinabi mong take the pulse rate, dito siya kaagad nagtitake, di ba? Hindi niya alam yung iba kasi ito lang parati yung chine-check niya. Dito ang most common, the radial artery. So femoral artery is at the groin. Sa mga singit nyo, may pulse rate. Okay? Sa popliteal artery behind the knee, yung alak-alakan, merong pulse rate. Posterior tibial near the ankle joint. Dito yun sa may, ano yung ankle? Yung, ano ba ankle? Ankle, sakong? Sakong ba yun? Sakong? Okay.
Sakong.
Doon sa may ankle natin, doon yun sa may gilid, sa may gilid lateral, doon sa may joint, yun. Yun namang dorsalis pedis artery sa ibabaw ng foot natin. Makikita nyo kung saan lahat ito nakalagay. Temporal, pag kayo may headache, napipil nyo rito, may parang kumakabog-kabog. O yun yung temporal artery natin. Tine-check din yung pulse doon, pero very less. Yun at the least na mga chine-check yan. Doon sa apical artery, ito is only the pulse rate that is taken heartbeat. Sa heart ito, apical, sa heart siya. Doon sa apical ninyo, doon sa baba, yung pinaka-point sa baba, yun yung tinatawag na apical, where only yung doktor with a stethoscope nyo maririnig yung inyong heartbeat. Okay, let's see, ito yung pulse sites na tinatawag natin kanina. So we talk about saan ang temporal, nandito siya. Okay, so you know exactly kung saan natin ito pag-aaralan. Sa sarili nyo, sabi ko, i-point ninyo para alam nyo madali kung saan nakalagay itong mga pulse sites natin. So ang pulse natin, temporal, is on the temporal area. Tapos itong ating, yung carotid natin, dito siya sa gilid natin, between the jaw and the neck. Tapos itong ating apical, doon sa pinakadulo, yung pinaka dulo ng pinaka-heart ninyo sa figure ng heart ninyo. Tapos meron tayong ano to? Hindi ito, dun sa ulnar, sa wrist yun, radial yon. Okay, yung radial natin. Pag ibaliktad nyo rito, ito ang radial. Okay, so yung brachial dito sa may siko, yung kabila ng siko. Okay, doon sa ating femoral, yung sabi ko doon sa may singit, yung popliteal sa gilid ng tuhod, yung sa alak-alakan, yung may dorsalis pedis, yung ibabaw ng ating foot, and the side is yung ating posterior tibial. Okay, so alam natin ngayon, where are our location, the location of our pulse, yung pulse sites natin. There are 9. Okay? So alam natin lahat, mag-umpisa sa ulo, papunta sa paa. There are 9 pulse sites. So talking about the pulse sites, measuring how to measure its pulse, pulse rate, how to measure them. So number 1 is by the carotid artery pulse. The common carotid artery is palpated on the neck, below the jaw and the lateral of the larynx and the trachea, midpoint between your earlobe and the chin. Okay? Ito, using the middle and the index finger. Whenever we talk about measuring our pulse rate, we need to use only 2, middle and the index finger. So, kailangan itong dalawa lang na to. Okay? Yung middle and the index. Silang dalawa lang ang pag-measure natin ng mga pulse natin. Hindi mo ilalagay yung buong daliri mo. Dalawa lang siya. Tandaan nyo yan, the middle and the index fingers. Brachial artery, ganun din yon. Dalawa din, middle and the index. So, palpated on the anterior aspect of the elbow by gently pressing the artery against the underlying bone with the middle and the index finger. The brachial artery pulse is commonly used to measure blood pressure with a stethoscope and sphygmomanometer or yung aneroid natin. Okay? Yung ating brachial artery is used. Yung brachial artery is used when taking blood pressure with the help of the stethoscope. Okay? Kung paano gagawin yan, let's see later on this. So, brachial artery for the blood pressure. Radial artery is the most common. It is palpated immediately above the wrist joint near the base of the thumb. Common site ito. Kaya nga sinabi ko, radial artery is used for the most common pulse measurement. So, or in the anatomical snuff box, alternative site by gently pressing the radial artery against the underlying bones with the middle and the index finger. So the femoral pulse is palpated over the ventral thigh, ito yung singit, between the pubic symphysis and the anterior superior iliac spine with the middle and index finger. So lahat middle and index finger. Popliteal pulse is palpated on posterior knee. Ito yung alak-alakan with the middle and index fingers. And this pulse is more difficult to palpate as compared to other pulse. Siya na yung pinakahuli. Kung pakukuhanin ka ng doktor, ito na yung pinakahuli. But most often, hindi ginagamit. Okay? So posterior tibial pulse is the pulse palpated posteriorly and inferior to the medial malleolus by gently pressing the tibial artery against the underlying bone with the middle and the index finger. Dorsalis pedis pulse. It is palpated in the groove between the first and second toes, is slightly medial on the dorsum of the foot, dorsal lateral to the extensor hallucis longus tendon, and distal to the dorsal prominence of the navicular bone with the middle or the index finger. So lahat ito, middle and index finger. Temporal, the same way. Dalawa din, the middle and the index finger. So ito palpated in the temple, directly in front of the ear with the index finger. Apical pulse, the unilateral apical pulse or the apex of the heart, yung pinakadulo ng heart, can be located in the fifth intercostal space, immediately to the left of the sternum using a stethoscope. Yung apical pulse, hindi mo siya maririnig yung heartbeat mo nang ilalagay mo yung ear mo o with your middle and your index finger. So kailangan mo na stethoscope to listen to the sound, okay? In contrast to the other pulses, the apical is measured over the heart and not an artery and is commonly heard with a stethoscope as opposed to palpated. So hindi pinapalpate, ginagamitan ng stethoscope listening to the heart sound or the heartbeat. So ito, yung common, ito yung sa radial artery ang procedure nito. So turn one hand over, so it is a palm side up, nakataas yung palm, okay? So use the other hand to place two fingertips gently on the grove of the forearm, down from the fold of the wrist, and about an inch along from the base of the thumb. When the position is right, you should feel the pulsation of your heartbeat. Okay, so use a timepiece or watch with the second hand or look at the clock with the second hand. Now we are going to count. Okay, so now let's begin counting. We'll begin counting the pulse when the clock second hand is on the 12. Ngayon, pinag-aaralan natin ito just for us the beginners. Kailangan tingnan natin yung clock. Pagka yung second hand is pointing, mag-start kang mag-count when the second hand is pointed at 12. But if you are already competent, you've been practicing it, so it doesn't, you don't count already when the clock second hand is on the 12. Okay, so count your pulse for 60 seconds. Or for 15 seconds and then multiply by 4 to calculate beats per minute. Paano yon? Or this can be calculated by doubling the number of pulses felt over 30 seconds. So ganito yon. So sabi natin, when we count the pulse rate or the heart rate or the respiration rate, kailangan in a minute. So count it by minute in 160 seconds. But if you are competent enough, as I said, you can count it at any time. Hindi mo na hintayin na mapunta sa 12. Basta ikaw nag-count ng 15 minutes, 15 seconds. Like for example, the second hand is in the 15, okay, of the clock. So you will count only the 15 seconds to the 30 times multiply it by 4, it will result you to 1 second. So 1 minute, sorry, 1 minute. You got me? Kung halimbawa, ang kinount nyo is in the 15 seconds only, you multiply it by 4 to have a 1 minute measurement. Got it? If you count it as in 30 seconds, means half. 30. You multiply it by 2. So it will be in 1 minute. Like for example, your pulse rate is 30. Let's say it's 30. And you count it in 15 seconds. In 15 seconds, multiply it by 4. So how much it will come?
120.
What did I say? 20? Or 10? What did I say? 10 into 4? So let's say 10. When you count 10 in 15 seconds, how multiply it by 4, how much?
40.
40. So it's easy, right? Then counting the whole 1 minute. So this is the trick, but you must be accurately measuring it. Pag nagka-count kayo, Huwag kayong kung ano-anong iniisip. Nakafocus kayo dun sa kinakount nyo kasi mamimiss nyo yung isang bit. Okay? So, pag nag-count kayo, let's say, nag-start ka ng 12 dun sa second hand, mag-end ka ng 15. So, times 4, so that will be your measurement for a minute. Kung ikaw nag-count starting by 12, you end it by 30, double it, count it times 2, multiply by 2, and you will get a 1 minute measurement. Like for instance, again, 10, you counted like 10 in 15 seconds. So multiply it by 4, how much? 40, right? Okay. So if you count it double in 30 seconds, so yung 20 by 30 by 2, how much? So 60? 60.
60.
30, did I say 30 times 2, 60?
60.
Kung halimbawa 30 yung kinount mo, masyado nang mataas, okay? So andun lang tayo sa pulse rate, 60 to 100. Okay, 60 to 100 in 1 full minute. So you got it? Clear ba yon? Meron pang doubt? May doubt kayo? 1 minute lang ang counting natin, 60 seconds. So if, like for example, you count starting by 12 dun sa second hand, pag nag-end ka in 15 seconds, multiply it by 4, so yun yung measurement mo for a whole minute. You got it?
Opo.
So kung halimbawa nag-start ka ng counting mo in 12 dun sa second hand at nag-end ka ng 30 seconds, so times 2, so you will get 1 minute measurement of 1 minute dun sa double mo. Multiply by 2. If multiply by 4, 1 minute din lalabas. Multiply by 2, that is double, so 1 minute din ang labas. As long as it will be in a full 1 minute. Okay? So, yun yung counting natin ng pulse. Lahat ng pulse, ganun ang kuha natin. Whether it is respiration, whether it is brachial, whether it is pulse, heartbeat, lahat ito counting natin is 1 minute. So the pulse should be between 60 to 100, as I said, and record vital signs into the chart or the vital signs graph chart. This is how I'm telling you, ito yung ating radial pulse. So babalik rin nyo yung inyong kamay. So yung palm facing up. So with your index and the middle finger, so 1/2 centimeter or 1 centimeter rather, below dito sa inyong sa may thumb dito. Okay? So you will feel the pulse. So napipil ninyo yung pulse ninyo?
Opo.
Okay? So mamaya,
Patay na yata
gawin
ako.
nyo yung 1 minute. Ano? Wala kayong pulse?
Hindi na makita, ma'am.
Hindi ko pinapakita sa inyo, pina-feel. You have to feel it, hindi pinapakita. Hindi nyo
Masyado wala ng pulse.
Tama.
So you have to feel your pulse. Okay? So this is how to feel the pulse. And start ka mag-count kung tama ba yung pulse mo sa nararamdaman mo. Baka naman pinagpapahan ka, so more than 100 ka na. Okay? So pag nalulungkot ka, below 60 ka. So yun yung pulse rate natin. So ang pulse rate natin, yung radial pulse, ito ngayon. So we talk about it already. So this is the long journey, the long process. So yung checking the pulse, yung radial pulse, yun yung pinag-usapan natin do sa first natin. Okay? So the same way ito yan, yung procedure. So dito naman ngayon sa carotid pulse, the same way, yung ipipil din natin, just locate for yung carotid artery nyo. Pag napipil nyo na meron na dong pulso, then you start yung counting ninyo. The same way with the 60 seconds, 1 minute, or 15 multiply by 4, or 30 double it by 2. Okay, so the same yon. So dito naman din sa pedal pulse, all of these pulses, the same ang kanyang procedure, the same ang step. Kaya lang, ang pinupuntahan natin is yung different na location. Pagka sinabi ng doktor sa iyo, pedal pulse, alam mo kung saan ka pupunta. The top of your foot, dun sa ibabaw na pinakita natin kanina. And you start the same with the middle finger and the index finger. So, multiply by 4 to obtain a 1 minute. Multiply by 2 to obtain the 30 seconds to obtain 1 minute. So, another location ito, brachial. This brachial artery is the one being used for the blood pressure. So, hindi natin either na i-check natin ang ating brachial artery by our middle and the index finger, but usually, ang brachial artery is being used to check or to measure blood pressure. So, turn your arm so slightly bent and your inner arm is facing up toward the ceiling. Ito na yung pagkuha natin with the help of the stethoscope. So, place your index and middle fingers along the side of your arm, between the crook of your elbow on top and the pointy part of your elbow bone on the bottom. Then move your fingers an inch up to your arm. You may have to press quite firmly to feel your pulse. Mahirap makinig through the stethoscope. Lalo na yung pasyente, hindi masyadong maayos yung kanilang pulse rate. Kasi hindi nyo mahirap malisen. Okay? So, kailangan, when you put the stethoscope, yung bell ng stethoscope, dapat yun, pag inilagay nyo doon, nakapanyo na muna yung inyong brachial pulse before putting the bell of the stethoscope. Kasi otherwise, useless, hindi nyo maririnig or wala kayong maririnig. Okay? So, once you can feel the pulse, count how many beats occur in 50 seconds. The same way, 50 seconds multiplied by 4, to obtain your heart rate. So, 30 seconds, double it, 1 minute, you will obtain your 1 minute heart rate. So, talking about the heart rate, the number of heartbeats per unit of time usually per minute. So, as I said, lahat ng pulse rate is measured by 1 minute. The heart rate is based on the number of contractions of the ventricles, the lower chamber of the heart. Nagko-contract siya. Yung the heart rate may be too fast, may tachycardia siya, or too slow, bradycardia. Another medical term. Tachy is too fast. Tachy, takipnik, tinatawag namin. Dinidescribe ang heart as the heart is takipnik. The heart is beating too fast. Yung too slow is called bradycardia. Slow, bradycardic. Yung mga pasyenteng may mga sakit sa puso and malapit na silang mawala, so nagbabrady na. Ito na yung kinatatakutan ng mga healthcare providers. Pagka nagbabrady na, below na the 40, going down to 30 and below, nagbabrady na yung pasyente. Pero the opposite side, pag sinabi nating tachycardia, yung too fast, meron ding nawawala dyan. Kasi hindi na maka-accommodate yung inyong heart dahil doon sa kanyang pagpapump, hihinturin yun. So, the too low and the too high or the too fast, parehong hindi maganda. Okay? It will not bring a good result. Pareho sila. So, kailangan, pagka when you measured a bradycardic heartbeat, kailangan you alert the doctor or you alert the nurse. The same way with the tachycardia, pag na-feel nyo na o narinig nyo na yung ganitong fast na heartbeat, kailangan i-alert nyo na yung inyong mga nurse o yung mga doktor. Resting heart rate is the heart pumping the lowest amount of blood you need because you're not exercising. Yung tahimik kayo. If you're sitting or lying and you are calm, relax, and hindi kayo walang sakit, your heart rate is normal between 60 and 100 beats per minute. But a heart rate lower than 60 doesn't necessarily signal a medical problem. Ito yung, when I said yung ating mga athletes, they lower heart rate o common dun sa people na yon because meron silang mga cardiovascular training. Okay? And because even dun sa 40 yung makukuha nyo, their heart muscle is in better condition, and doesn't need to work as hard to maintain a steady beat. A low or moderate amount of physical activity doesn't usually change the resting pulse rate. Ito, I'm just giving you, ito yung rates for various age groups. Mag-start tayo dun sa age, meron tayong 20, 30 hanggang 70. May estimated tayong maximum heart rate, maximum. But we have to go to our target heart rate. Ito yung 60 to 85% of the maximum. Kung ikaw 20, ang iyong heart rate lang supposed to be magre-range between 120 to 170. Hindi ka na mag-exceed ng 200. So 30 is the same way, 114 to 162, and so on and so forth. Ito lang ay mga figures for you to understand na in various age groups ay meron tayong specific or particular na target heart rates. Let's go with the respiration rate. Respiration rate is the number of breaths a person takes per minute. Okay, ito, ang respiration rates, binibilang natin objectively. The rate is usually measured when a person is at rest and simply involves counting the number of breaths from 1 minute by counting how many times the chest rises. Dito tayo naman may chest rise and fall. So isang chest rise and fall equivalent to 1 count. Huwag mong pagtaas ng hininga, isa, pagbaba ng hininga, dalawa. No, it's wrong. So dito sinabi niya we will measure yung heart rate, ang respiration niya in 1 minute, counting how many times the chest rises. Isa lang, hindi natin i-count na when the chest rises,